Good morning, traders. It's Trader Rob. We are live. Today is Wednesday, August 14th. Let's take a look at the markets. Obviously, we had some high impact news this morning. About 30 minutes ago, CPI data came out, and well, from what I from what I'm hearing, obviously on the news and the financial networks, kind of a nothing burger. Obviously, we had a pretty damn spike that, let's take a look at the NQ. Let's see. I had about 160 point wick on the 5 minute, so that's obviously pretty extreme. But if you guys can see, I mean, price action pretty much stayed within the range that it's been trading on for a little while here. So had a pretty big pump up yesterday in the markets. Let's take a look here. All right, so CPI, there was from what I understand, housing was still up a little bit. Core products like groceries and things like that still up. Autos and new car sales, used car sales were down. I believe gas was down, electricity was up a little bit. So the census on the, at least from people that are much smarter than me, is that we should be expecting a rate cut, but we'll see. We do have oil inventory this morning at 9:30. So this one's been a kind of a sore point for me, but we'll see here what we can do. Let's take a look at, so I got oil on my left-hand side of my chart. I got gold on the right side of my chart. I got the 15-minute Rob reversal here on the bottom left. And then I've got my levels trades on the bottom right. We did take, even though yesterday, let's see if I can pull it up. Yesterday on the strategy, hopefully you guys can see this. Yesterday on the strategy, it shows that we had a loss, but it in fact was a 15-minute Rob reversal winner. And this is some of the discrepancies that you sometimes get in historical data with NinjaTrader. Because I was watching this one. Yesterday was a brutal day for me. I mean, I think I ended up losing about $600 on the funded account. And there was a setup in oil session 2 that was forming pretty much at the same time that we got this activation candle. This had already turned lime green, and price action was already down here. So I ended up having to turn the strategy off on the 15-minute Rob reversal because this is using up 2 micros, and Top Step, I guess, considers 2 micros the same equivalency as 2 E-minis, which to me doesn't make any sense. I really think that they need to fix that. And so I got into a losing trade into oil session 2, which was extremely unfortunate yesterday. Just got pretty much wicked in. And I mean, all of my trades yesterday, there was something pretty unusual. I think gold came within a tick. I know it filled some people on Discord, but I did not get filled. So it took a 50% reduction loss on that. Took a 50% reduction on oil session 1, which has just been absolutely atrocious. I mean, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11 straight days. For me personally, I know some people have had some wins on oil session 1, but my original strategy with the reduction in stop loss has just been pretty damn ugly for oil session 1. Oil session 2 has been doing pretty good. Let's see. Let's go into August. So oil session 2 is up 41 ticks. Gold is up 146 ticks for August. So that is definitely a bright spot. And then we are 4 trades down on the 15-minute Rob reversal. But with that being said, I do want to do a market replay probably over the weekend, from August 1st to now. We had, I think, on the 6th, three trades that all ended up losing on the 15-minute Rob reversal. And I just want to go in and verify that all of these stats on that reversal strategy is correct. And I don't get something like this where it shows that it was a loss, but in reality it was a win. So we'll see. Coach Cleats, good morning. Kelly, good morning. Andy, good morning. Aaron, good morning. What do you think of trying to pass evals using news events? So news events in general do not affect my morning strategies in oil and in gold, meaning that it's not like I'm looking to either put on more position size or trading something a little bit differently. Now, I will trade the 15-minute Rob reversal a little differently, especially like on big news events, FOMC. If there's some things there that I don't necessarily like, I might keep the strategy off for that day. But again, yeah, I know there's some news traders out there that this is the volatility obviously that they're looking for, are these huge wicks in the market. And you can probably end up passing evals very quickly if the trade goes in your way. But in theory, and in reality, I guess, if you don't have a strategy that is determining in which direction you think that the market is going, I mean, at that point, it's a crapshoot. I mean, yes, you can pass, and yes, you can fail. But even if you do pass, and you're only relying on news events, that you're either taking a momentum play, a swing play, a feeling play. I don't necessarily know that even if you do get a funded account that you're ever going to get a payout that way. So in reality, I think you've got to have a strategy that you can reliably feel that will work in most markets. All right, so let's jump into the 15-minute. So a few things that I want to talk about. Good morning, Morris. One, if you guys have been watching my videos, I've been mentioning, honestly, I'm a big believer of juju, let's just call it. And the Wednesday sessions have not been going well for me on live. And I'm not saying that if I'm not live that the sessions will automatically start winning. That is not what I'm saying at all. But it's hard to map out levels on days like this morning, when you've got CPI that pretty much has 160 point range on one candle. It's very difficult to find levels that are what I would consider to be tradable. We're going to look now and see if we can find anything, but in general, it becomes very difficult. So I haven't really been able to take many levels trades on the Wednesday live sessions, just because it's typically falling on high impact news days. And oil inventory session 2 has also been really tough to trade during oil inventory report. So I'm going to see how the day goes today. And if not, I'm really considering moving my live trading sessions to Tuesday. It still kind of works with my work schedule, and it might be more of a normal trading day. So I don't know. I guess I'll wait to hear the feedback and what other people think, but in the end, I got to make that decision. All right, so we're on the 15-minute time frame. These are my levels, obviously, from yesterday. I got a lot of levels below price action. Obviously, we had a pretty damn big move up, and I really didn't have anything that I liked on the way up. And if we look at price action during this move up, there's not many V-shaped reversals in the market that is what I am obviously looking for on these strategies. So it's difficult here today to kind of map out anything that I really like. Right here, so this is a prime example of what I am looking for on this type of strategy. You can see this V shape right here. And I like to then mark out my levels right at the bottom of the 2 wicks that are kind of creating that V shape, that bottom V shape, or the top of an upside down V. And then you can still find, it doesn't have to be a perfect V. I mean, sometimes it's more looks like a Y. The Y ones I don't like as much because I'm looking for that really strong movement to the up, to a really strong reversal in the market. And what causes that reversal, I don't know. I mean, there's hundreds of theories out there, but I don't necessarily know which one of those is correct or which one it doesn't. What I do know is that in general, mapping these out over the last 7 months, the levels seem to be respected extremely well. You get reactions at these levels. And my 15-minute level, so I look at it in 2 time frames. I look at it on a 15-minute and then a 5-minute. Could you do 15-minute and an hour? Absolutely. Could you do an hour and 4 hours? Absolutely. In fact, the charts I have off on my side, I got 4 monitors off to the side. Those do have higher time frame. And I'm starting to kind of incorporate those because those are, I don't consider them tradable necessarily, but they do give me a very good indication of where major areas that I should be looking at. And then as a scalper, I'm only looking for, let's say, 10 to 15 points on the NQ and 5 to 6 points on the ES. So roughly about $300 per trade. Let's take a look. We've got. All right, so currently we got a setup in oil session 1. We do have 1 minute and 40 seconds. And then another thing, well, there it goes. So we blew through that one. Oil session 1 has the end of this week. I have given it the end of this week to either show me that the session needs to be shelved, or I can write it out until the end of the month, because I'm not an idiot as well. I mean, 11, what did I say? I think it was 11 straight losses. I mean, that's absolutely insane. Typically, the largest losing streaks that you'll see are three days. But 11 days, that obviously is a key indication that something there is not picking it up well. And what I have been noticing is the me not taking an offset has obviously hurt me tremendously in August, which has not really necessarily been the case. So I'm not ignorant to the fact that what's working and what's not. So hopefully that people understand that there's maybe some kind of reasoning for my madness. All right, so we had a level right here. You can see this would be a pretty good indication of what I'm looking for, okay? And what caused it? What 2 bars caused that movement? These 2 right here. So I would have put my level, 15-minute level, right at 19,151. This is on the NQ. And you can see that that's where you get the inspection in the marketplace. So just from this level to where price action came right back down is 38 points. that is a, that is a decent reaction. But it's not necessarily just this that I'm looking for on my trades. I'm also looking for clear and concise entry levels. So this right here would have been a good entry. But at the same time, I'm also looking for clear stop losses and clear take profits. Okay. Because this wick with CPI this morning pretty much ran through 160 points, you probably even more, close to 200 points. There is really no level that is what I would consider to be tradable now, because this has swept everything. Okay. So even though I've got a great line here for an entry, I don't have a clear take profit, because obviously I would want to short from this level. And I don't believe, let's see what's above us, because that might create some opportunity. Okay, so right here's a good example. Let's bring this down. Here's a great one. So right here at 19,640, we've got a great 15-minute level. You can see price actions coming up, coming up, coming up, and then something in the market just slaps it down and makes this thing obviously hit. This could be news, it could be a bunch of different things, but that is a level that I would obviously want to mark at. Now, from where we're currently sitting at to that level is 400 points. So the likelihood of us seeing this level today, it's possible, but it's not very likely. Right here, let's see, right here. Now this is this is not necessarily a V-shaped pattern, but we've got a downturn or a downtrend. We've got a pretty strong move up, and then we get slapped again, and we continue that market going down. So there could be a situation of resting orders here. So I will mark this off, but I am also conscious of areas that I feel are stronger than others. So like that example that I gave you, even like right here, like this to me is a very good level. Obviously this already got tapped into. You would have made your 100 points or whatever. I mean, this is just a very nice setup. And again, if you're not in front of the charts constantly, it's difficult to trade, because I'm really in front of the charts from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Let's take a look, make sure there's no setups yet. Okay. And another thing too, chat, if you guys can help me out, if you guys see a setup forming on gold or oil, just throw it out in the chat so that it does actually help me out. Sometimes I get lost into training this stuff. All right, so I've got two levels above me. I've got one at 19,215. I've got a weaker level at 19,151. And the reason why I say this is weaker is because this has been already tapped into about 3 times. Okay. Now, the issue becomes finding something else that looks good. And we don't see anything until right here. That's the unfortunate part. So I could delete this level. I can, I mean, yeah, I don't like that at all. So this is what I'm talking about. When you get these big moves up, you get these news events that happen right here. You're then left with this huge gap that I don't consider to be tradable yet, because I don't have any clear levels. And obviously, as price action starts to develop, that can change. You're always looking to update your levels in real time. And I don't think that there was anything. Let me just make sure there wasn't anything else up here that I missed. No, I got everything. Yeah, that's a big move anyways. So now I can jump into the 5-minute. And the reason why I haven't touched any of those levels down below from yesterday, none of these have been tapped into yet. So obviously a lot of trading opportunities down here, but we're maybe 800, no, maybe about 500 points off from there. All right, so now on the 5-minute, we do see a level right here. Not the greatest level, because obviously this is a huge wick. But I'm going to map this one out just to see if it possibly would play into a setup. Oh, shit. And I totally missed oil. How did I do that? That's not the same on my chart over here. Oh, this would be an absolute classic move right here. Oh my lord. Don't do this to me. Oh, don't do this. Oh man. Oh man. Oh, you gotta love it. You gotta absolutely love it. Oh my gosh. How did I miss that? I'll show you why I missed it, to be honest with you. So, this is the chart that I have off on my other monitor. This is the one that I'm looking at while I was bringing up the NQ chart. And this doesn't show an inside bar right here. Oh my, oh jeez. So the first trade in 11 days that was just a very simple oils trade, and I absolutely, completely missed it. I have it on auto, yes. Oh, God. How big was that trade? No, it was a small, well, I guess if there's any, it was a smaller trade, at least of 11 ticks. Oh, I know why. I know why my chart wasn't updating. As my brokerage account did not have it connected, so it wasn't on real-time data. Oh, you suck, Rob. I don't know. No, it still doesn't show. How does that not? I don't know. I can't explain it. Guys, that really hurts. That one really hurts. Like I've been so faithful to oil session 1. Even after the yeah, Kelly, no, I understand. I'm happy that it won, but I also feel like I just got punched in the face. All right, so I guess we'll move on. So we got a 5-minute level here, and this isn't something that, you know, I'm marking this out just because obviously this is an area where there was obviously a big reaction point, and this might play into maybe a take profit or a stop loss, but not necessarily a entry. And then let's just see if there is anything else here that. So like right here, this is just kind of rangy, and then, you know, you get a move out. Just not the best, but I will mark it right here. Feel pretty confident that I'm not going to see a trade in the NQ today. And then I don't see anything until we get right back to here. Okay, so, oh, let me just make sure that there isn't anything above us. Sorry, because that could be a possible, that could be an opportunity. Okay. All right, so I super like this. So on the 5 minute and the 15 minute, we have a level. Those levels I consider to be even a little bit more stronger. All right, 4 minutes left in gold and current setup, but I know anything can happen. So you guys can remember my blue solid line is a 15-minute level. There's the exact same level on the 5 minute, so I put a little bit more priority on that. Very similar situation up here. This is on the 5 minute, and we have a 15-minute level right there, so I like that. And I guess we can mark this off right here. Okay, that's enough. Now let's bring this down and see if there's any. So it's kind of ugly just because you got a huge gap here. I've got a pretty big gap here from news and that huge move yesterday. So again, and that just tells me that helps me visualize and understand that I don't see a setup on the NQ at all today. Okay. So if I go over and look at the ES chart, I start the same way. I move to the 15-minute time frame. Let's see if I can see what's going on here. Again, great level right here. This would have been a very nice trade. And you can see how well it got respected here several times until news. So this was pretty much 3 respections of that level. Let's see. I don't have anything there. I don't have anything there. I've got a level right there. So, and then these levels really have not been touched into. These levels are fresh. So it's very similar to the NQ. I mean, from here to here, I just I don't see much. And above me, let's just take a look. Let's see what's above. Okay, got a great level right here. It's a perfect level. Got a decent level right here. And I've got a fantastic level right here. So above us on the 15-minute, we definitely have 3 levels that I consider to be very strong. Okay. Oops, let me jump back over here. Obviously, big gap there. Let's go into gold. We have 50 seconds left in gold. Let's just let me concentrate on this one and see if we get a setup here. All right, so got into gold on the short max size trade, 35 ticks. Obviously, if you put your stop at the top of your source, that's 860. So we could automatically reduce. So let's go. Let's put this at the right place. If I can do that. Why is it so hard? One. There we go. All right, so big trade here. Let's watch this one. I'm gonna pour myself some coffee. Hopefully we can get a winner here. I need it. So the curse continues. The cursed continued. Ugh. So that's a double doozy. Didn't get into the winning trade. Missed that one. And got into a max size trade in gold. And lost. Such is life. Oh, I know what I did wrong. Oh my God. I know what I did wrong. This is supposed to be gold. Wow, what an idiot. What an idiot this morning. Gold is December. Still quite upset as to why my TradingView chart did not pick this up. Why this data is so different. That made me mad. That made me a little upset. All right, well, let's finish the levels and I might call it a day. All right, so on the ES, I've got 3 levels above me. I've got a shit ton of levels below me. And we'll go over the levels, and I'll post them in Discord, so they're easier for everybody to see. So I could jump now down to the 5 minute, see maybe if there's any type of setup here. Obviously, this would have been a level, not the greatest 5 minute level, but there's a level right here that almost just got tapped into. Let's see, this would have been a great level, but already got tapped into right here. You guys can see that. But this right here is exactly what I'm looking for. This one isn't the greatest because, as you can see, it's been kind of just tapping into this many times. But this was the beginning of that huge move. So I will map it right there. Make this a dot, which represents a 5 minute level. Another U-shaped right here. Let me just copy this one. Paste right here. And then these are fresh levels, so I don't need to mess around with those. Now, if I look at it from a top end approach, let's see if there's anything. So again, I've got 2 levels below me on the 5 minute. I got nothing on the 15 minute. And I like to incorporate at least one 15-minute level somehow into my setup. And currently I don't have anything. So I've got, obviously price action can do something like this, but I got nothing here really to target yet. It would be nice if a 15-minute level was to form. If we get a downward movement here today, then that could be a possibility. But as of right now, there's no setup there. So really the only setups start to begin down here. And here's a perfect setup that I would look for. I've got 2 15-minute levels, okay, and I've got a 5-minute level, and you could just visually see it. So if we were to get a price action to tap into the 53.55 level, we can retarget the 53.60 level, and then you've got a level below you at 53.52 as a stop loss, or a little bit lower than that. So that is how I visualize my trades. And the same way can be said for this, where if I get a retracement back this way, I can then target it just like that, because I've got an entry at 53.66, I've got a stop loss at 53.68, and I've got a take profit at 53.60. And that's how I visualize my trades and my setups on the levels. Same thing can be said right here. Okay, so a long from 53.68, stop loss at 53.66, take profit 53.72. All 3 of these setups incorporate a 15-minute level and a 5-minute level. Doesn't have to necessarily be the entry. The best to me would be an entry off of the 15 and then use a 5-minute as a stop loss. But I am not that discretionary where I will not take a setup if it appears. So hopefully that is easier for you guys to maybe understand on what exactly it is that I'm looking for in the market and how I'm trading these. So currently there's nothing here that I see realistically happening today for me on the ES or the NQ, which is kind of a bummer. But that's been one of the issues that I've been finding with Wednesdays and the live trades, is that because we typically have high impact news at 7:30, we're getting these huge wicks that obviously blow through a lot of levels and create such big movements that there's just nothing much there to trade. And then, I know that there's some people that just are trading the bounces, from level to level. And, yes, when I look at the chart at the end of the day, I'm like, holy shit, that respected it perfectly. That ranged in between there, and you could have probably played a ping pong game, in the markets and probably would have made a killing. But again, I like to stick to pretty strict rules and find trades that I think make sense. So hopefully you guys understand that part. Give me 1 sec. All right, let's see if anybody's got some questions. Wayne, good morning. Aaron, good morning. Gold had some big swings today. Yes, it did. And the swing actually punched me right in the face on that one. Sir, have you automated the gold strategy in the prop fund? Yeah, absolutely. So if we jump over to my site, the link to my site is at the top of the chat box. It's robstrades.com. If you go into indicators, you will see all of my strategies that we trade each and every morning, starting with the 15-minute Rob reversal, which is this strategy that is activated right now. This is an automated strategy. You can trade it obviously manually if you want. It gives you a video on the strategy. It gives you the clear rules of entry, when to take trades, what invalidates the trades. And then there's instructions on how to install the strategy into NinjaTrader. So the first one here is the actual automated strategy. And then the second one is just the indicator, which will only just paint you the arrows when our setups appear. And you spoke of gold. We have the same thing for oil. So oil has got the complete strategy, the rules, and the automated strategy for NinjaTrader. And the same thing with gold. So the gold is here, the rules for gold, and the strategy and instructions on how to install it into NinjaTrader. And that is all completely free on my website. You guys can go download it, install it, and trade these strategies. Have this automated. Where obviously, if I would have had this automated this morning, I would have been able to take this oil trade session 1 for a profit. But as I was showing you guys as I was mapping out my levels, and typically this doesn't happen to me on a normal day because I map my levels at about 7:30 in the morning, and I post them into Discord at about 7:40. And then, but on the days that I go live, I like to actually map the levels out with you guys to kind of give you each and every week kind of a refresher as to how I come up with my levels, what that strategy looks like, what type of setup it is that I'm looking for. And that one obviously cost me some money there today. But yeah, down pretty good on that one. Did take a trade on my cash account. I did short the ES market, targeting the 54.48. So what you heard with the cha-ching is it just it did go into my break even. I think I'm up about 10 points, about 8 points. So we'll see what happens here. Okay, Mike, good morning. Let's see what else reversal. Yeah, so on the ES, I took a short just to this is on my cash account. Took a short down to this 54.48 number, but we'll see if how that works out. And then let me just switch over to the 15-minute to see if there's any fresh level there. I guess I can make a case for a level right there at the 54.66. And then we'll see what happens down here. Indicators for TradingView. So the best for that would be to go into my into Discord. There's a link at the top, and then if you go into indicators, there are some TradingView scripts that have been developed, and there's some code there that you can install. And I know there's one for the 15-minute Rob reversal. To be honest with you, the inside bar for oil and gold, all you really need is get yourself any inside bar indicator. Let me just see the one that I use. Let's see, add my titles. I use an indicator for my inside bar called IBS V2, inside bar V2. And all it does is it just paints the candle when there's an actual inside bar. And then from that point, I mean, you're just putting your stop loss at the top of the source, and it's a 1-to-1 risk to reward. So I don't necessarily think that you need a script for TradingView to trade oil or gold. Those are pretty damn simple. But the 15-minute Rob reversal, it's nice when you get an indicator that actually paints the pattern. Again, I don't need these indicators anymore. Obviously, if you're looking at the chart long enough, you will you'll start to see these patterns very quickly. Let's look at the yes, is what I'm very curious on. I don't know, I feel like we're going to get a push down here, tap into that 54.48, but we'll see. We will see what happens. Jay Kelly, could you explain a bit more why you don't think there will be a setup in the NQ today? Is it based on all the previous levels? Well, let's go to the NQ. So currently, from where we're at right now to the next 5-minute level, below us is at 18,882, which is about, quick math, 100, maybe 200 points. It's a 200 point drop just to get down to here. Between here, as you, I don't know if you were on when we were mapping them out, but there's nothing here that I like. There's no V-shape reversal. There's nothing here in the market. This was just a straight move upwards, which occurred obviously yesterday in the morning. So, you know, if I look at it from a top-down approach, if I look at it this way, I would not take a bounce from here to the downside, because what's my stop loss? You know, I can target here, that's great, but are you going to put your stop all the way up above this line, which is 65 points above here? I don't think that's the best idea. The risk to reward here is just not good. Now, if this level was down here, okay, like somewhere over here, then yeah, that presents itself a possible trading opportunity, but that does not. And then for the setups that I already mapped out that I said I like a lot, which there's plenty of them below us. Right here, there's a setup that I think is great. I mean, visually, you can just see it. Entry off the 620, target the 658, stop loss at 605. Everything here makes sense. You've got a 15-minute level, you've got a 5-minute level, you've got a tight stop loss, you've got a very good risk to reward on this trade. This setup here doesn't look as good as this one, because again, if we visualize it, we say this becomes a 1-to-1. Maybe even a little worse than a 1-to-1 on my risk to reward. So I don't like that one. You could even play this move, depending on what price action starts to do down here. This again here makes perfect sense. Short off of 18,605, stop loss at 620, take profit at 570. So I need to visually see trades that make sense to me. Right here would be another great scenario. Taking a long from the 337, targeting the 393, and stop loss at 330. That makes sense to me. Visually, I like it. It looks, I'm incorporating all of my, everything that I like. Incorporating a 15-minute entry, a 5-minute take profit, and a 5-minute stop loss. Now, that's not a 100% rule that it has to be this way, but those are the ones that I prefer. But for these setups to be in play today, we're talking about a move of 500 points to get down to any of these scenarios. So is it possible? Yes. I mean, we saw the move that happened yesterday, but is it likely? No. So that's when I say I don't feel like there's going to be a setup on the NQ. That is what that's what I'm referring to. All right, let's take a look at the ES again. Just feels like we're going to sweep this low right here, but we'll see. We'll see. Trading it in cash on 5 micros. So my take profit is 343, which is 55 ticks, and I've got a 25 tick stop loss. But my take profit right now is right at the bottom of this wick right here. I'll be right back. All right, we're getting pretty close here. This is, let's just put my line here. That would be it right there. Let's see if we can get a push here. All right, anybody got any questions on any of the strategies? Now is the time to ask them because we are in some downtime. So now would be a good opportunity. Come on, one more little push here. One question, is there a way to automatically take a Rob reversal trading using TradingView? No. No, there's not. At least not that I'm aware of. Majority of the strategies in TradingView, you still have to take them manually. Might see a little resistance right here. Let's see. Currently up about 250 on that trade. We'll see. Now the real question is, do I want to take an oil session 2 trade? I almost feel like if I don't, it's going to hit. And if I do, it's going to lose. Oh, man. Every evaluation you take. Great question. So what I have done in the past, man, we got really close there. What we have done in the past is, oh, don't reverse on me right here. Come on, a strong push down. What I've done in the past is I have traded oil and gold on one 50K eval, and I have traded the 15-minute Rob reversal on one eval. So I've separated these two strategies. To be honest with you, if I go back in time, and again, this isn't perfect. This might not be perfect factual information, but just from my observations, I think if you were to have combined the strategies, we probably would have passed a shit ton of evaluations. But you also would have probably blown through a good amount of them as well, because of the fact, that, well, I guess, you could always, reduce it down to the micros on the eval, and that probably would kind of, not hurt the overall like equity curve on those accounts. But if you're asking me what I have done in the past, I have traded oil and gold in one eval, Rob reversal in a second eval, and then obviously the levels trades. I have also I have passed on the levels trades alone. I have passed two 250K Top Step accounts, obviously trading one right here, and I have passed 3 Top Step X levels trades that I also still have open and funded. And those, I can honestly say, I've been trading the levels, or I've actually on YouTube and everything, probably for the last 3 to 4 months. And I honestly don't think that I have blown an eval at all with the levels trades. So those have been working out well, but I'm very selective on the setups there. Even the trades right now that I'm in on my cash account, I'm not here because this is not a levels trade that I'm trading right now. This is more of a, I can maybe get into that in a later date. But my take profit right now on my cash account is right down here at that 54.48ish. And my entry on that one was at 54.61. So targeting about 13 points, I think the math is on that one. But we'll see. Good question. Looks like we might be developing a level right here at 1929, which might not work in my favor, but this candle's still ongoing, so we'll see. Oh, we still got 10 minutes on this candle, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, so if we're taking a look at oil, which is on the top left-hand side of my chart, you'll see that we currently have an inside bar setup, but there's 4 minutes left there, so never get excited until there's about less than a minute left. If you got a setup, then you can kind of really start to focus in. All right, 3 minutes left on oil candle. ES came again, probably about a, oh, that was a tick away from my take profit. That was legitimately a tick away. Let's see if we get a push here. 300. And yes, I could close it right now, but I'm not going to. Jeez. Seems like every trade lately has been difficult for me. Come on. All right, got roughly 2 minutes left on oil. Now, here's another issue that I've been noticing with oil session 2. On these oil inventory days, you do get a scenario that plays out a lot where we get very rangy prior to the report, and it makes you really sweat out that trade pretty drastically. Literally one tick away from my full take profit on the ES trade that I'm currently in on a short. Ugh. Just do it already. Just do it already. I gotta say, the one thing I think that I've definitely improved on as a trader, for the good or the bad, is I stay very committed to my trades. Extremely committed. You know, right now I was up 300. Now I'm only up 218. And this thing could reverse on me at any point, but still feel very strongly about this level right here at 54.88. So I'm hoping that it can tap into it. All right, 15 seconds left here. I'm going to get this one ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. New candle. All right, so we're currently in a setup in oil session 2. Let's see what happens here. Come on. ES. Come on, ES. Oh. Come on, ES. 2 more points. Oh, okay, let's go. Let's go oil. And like I said, oil has a very, very high tendency of ranging on before oil inventory reports. So I was honestly debating if I should even take the trade, and I did say if I do take it, there's a higher probability of me losing the trade. Yeah. Good job, yes. All right, took 343 bucks on that one, which was a total of how many points was that? Let me see if I switch it from P&L to points. Why doesn't it do it? Oh, I did that wrong. That was stupid. Currency. I want to say it was around 13 points on that short that I took. But now I can put my focus in on oil session 2. Let's see how big of a trade that could be. Doesn't look very big. So 25 ticks if we get activated to the long. I would say less if we get activated into the short. About 18 ticks. So medium-sized trade in oil session 2, which I would prefer, to be honest with you. Excuse me. Thanks, Jay Kelly. That was definitely a very nice trade this morning. So this is going to be, I think, the classic range scenario here. Let's see. Let's open this up a little bit. I'm going to cancel this out, and I'm going to do this. Right there. So what I just did there, what you guys see, these buttons that I have on my NinjaTrader, I've kind of gone into, if you go back to my oil and gold strategy, I kind of explain these indicators. But this is my order entry management system that I purchased from Trade Devils, TradeDevils.com. It wasn't cheap. It was, I want to say, $350. You know what? I hate saying things and then being completely wrong. Let me just pull it up and see what the actual cost is. Trade Devils. Indicators. Let's see. Why is this so difficult to see here? Trading indicators. NinjaTrader. Okay, so let's push this one up here. Did that pretty good. All right, so this is the indicator right here. So I'm on Trade Devils website. I guess it's Trade Devils. If you just Google Trade Devils, you'll go to their site. It's got a hyphen, Trade Devils hyphen indicator. Oh, no, that's the actual page. It's TradeDevils.com. And this is the panel right here. So it's $3.99. I purchased this. I actually purchased 2 licenses of this entry system, one for my laptop and then one for my main computer that I have right here. And that has honestly been absolutely indispensable in my trading. So really quickly too, we've got a 2 inside bar play here. I already told you guys before we even got into this trade that there's going to be a pretty good likelihood of a rangy type of situation, and we're about 15 minutes away from the report. But to get back into this indicator, and there's a lot more buttons here than I'm showing right now. So it does have a lot of capabilities. But since I've kind of gone to this quad screen on my videos, I've had to kind of remove some buttons that I just don't use quite often. For these inside bar strategies, if you're not trading, if you don't have it on the automated strategy on NinjaTrader, this will help you get into these trades very, very quickly. Let me just set my stop loss here. So we're targeting 180 bucks or 18 ticks. All right, let's see. So best case scenario right here would be a strong push down, which we did not get. You guys know from my videos that I'm looking for that initial push down, a pretty strong push down. And best case scenario would be for us to hit our take profit before oil inventory report in a perfect world. But obviously, August has not been a perfect world by no means for me. To get into these oil strategies, it requires you to straddle those inside bars with OCO orders, which is order cancels order. And if I press buy up, it's going to automatically take my entry to go long, and it's going to put it on the most current candle. Okay, and then the sell down button will straddle the bottom end of that candle with a order to go short. And again, the OCO orders is check marked. So once I get activated into a long, the short gets canceled out. So this helps me get into the orders very, very quickly. Now, the only thing that you have to be very careful with these buttons is that as it straddles the inside bar, if we get a scenario like today where there's another inside bar that's right after it, you have to be careful because then this will straddle the next bar. So it kind of follows the bars, which I like because, this is the setup here, right? Oh, actually the inside bar is the setup. But if I'm confident with maybe 5 or 6 seconds left that we're going to definitely have an inside bar, I will hit my buy up and sell down, and it will straddle the source bar. And then the second the next candle opens, it straddles it automatically. So it's to me, if you're trading this manually, something like this is very indispensable. So I highly recommend this indicator. And then what you guys saw me do is, since I knew that we were going to have another inside bar, it looked like we were going to have another inside bar, I canceled that out. And then all I did was I said buy chart, sell chart. And then you just have to put your actual order where you want them to be straddled as well. And then they'll stay fixed. And then they've got a lot of other different capabilities. Like if you're trading EMAs or touches on trend lines, trend channels, it'll follow that entry with the drawing tool that you're using. So if you've got, like, let's say a trend line, and if it breaks, you can do a breakout of the trend line, a touch of the if you're trying to play reversals on it. So it's got a lot of really great features on there that makes it pretty damn good. So oil right now is in the red. We're down about 70 bucks or 7 ticks in oil session 2. Definitely not the momentum that I'm looking for out of these inside bars. Not to say that we can't get a strong push here, but it's definitely not. And I was anticipating that because even before we got into this trade, I said there's a very strong possibility of this just ranging into the oil inventory report, and then at that point it's almost a crapshoot, and it's not been a good crapshoot for us lately. Let's watch this one, and I'm going to refresh my coffee. I'll be right back. All right, so we got a nice little push there, but nothing to write home about yet. It's a nice target, though. It's actually a very nice target. I'm going to go on a limb. I don't normally do this, but I'm going to go on a limb that this is going to be a winning trade. Karn, you're a smart man. You are a smart man. Which I don't know. Does that make me a dumb man? I guess maybe. But we'll see. We shall see. ES had a nice little rejection from there. Let's look at the NQ. NQ had a nice rejection off of the 18,979. Looks like it's dumping. Oh, that's good. All right, so the E-mini, I'm sorry, the E-mini. What the hell am I talking about? The NASDAQ to me now on the higher time frame looks like we might have a pretty strong move downwards. 18,750. Let's see, what does that look like here? 18,750. I got nothing mapped out there. That would be a big ass move though. But it's possible. I can also see the NASDAQ going almost all the way down to that 18,750. It would have to take a pretty big dump. We'll see. Oh, oil, come on, buddy. So this might do the wick stop loss to the original take profit now. I'm still gonna go with a win. I of course could always be wrong, but I really do like the take profit level. It's in a great spot. If I was mapping levels out on the CL, which I've done in the past, but they don't necessarily work. They don't work as well than the ES and the NQ. As far as bounces are concerned. But this is definitely an area of liquidity that I would see is a fair game target for oil. Let's see, on the upside, you got the overnight open, which could also obviously be a possibility. We'll see. 2 minutes left. Either way, we'll know in 2 minutes. Aaron, the problem with that idea is that unfortunately you don't necessarily have the opportunity at 9:30. The market's going to go very quickly, and to manually adjust your stop loss even to 70% is no easy task. Not saying it's impossible, but it's not an easy task to do. We shall see. Not looking very promising, but we'll see. Oh no. Just got a connection lost on NinjaTrader, but it looks like it came right back on, so should be okay. That would be frustrating, especially 15 seconds to the report. That would be bad. Also, slippage here is going to be pretty nasty too. So, we'll see. Oh, shit. So right there, I guess, Aaron, you could have hit 70. You could have reduced down to 70%. There we go. Banger. So we swept that. We did sweep that area right down here. Felt pretty confident about the take profit on that one. Obviously, nothing about this trade. So let's just talk real talk real quick. Nothing about this trade is how can I say it? Nothing about this trade to me has an edge. Okay, so that is a certainty in my mind. And this is a strategy I developed. It's a strategy I've been trading for over a year. I love it. It's super easy to implement. But nothing about this exact trade in oil session 2, 15 minutes, 20 minutes before, actually 15 minutes before oil inventory report, did any of this really have an edge? Okay. Because the edge on these strategies is the momentum play outside of that inside bar. And we did get 2 inside bars, which I love. I absolutely adore those type of days, so that we do get that set up. And once I'm in the trade, okay, since with full transparency, if the edge is gone, now I'm looking at it from a strictly technical point from price action, okay? And from a price action standpoint, I've just obviously looking at charts for 5 years and seeing, I have a pretty good understanding of the oil market, a pretty good understanding of the gold market. My first thought would be a sweep of the lows. Okay, that to me makes the most sense. Because on the upside, you've got a much bigger move. You've got the overnight open, obviously, that's caused already a pretty good amount of support right here. And this is a harder fight, in my opinion, for the market than this is. So that's the reasoning that I gave. I knew that this was going to be a ranging market going into the report. That's exactly what we did. We stayed in this box right here. Pretty much the entire, for what, 20 minutes? Maybe a little bit more than that. 25 minutes. We stayed in this area. So my thinking of this is going to be in a range until the report was correct. My feeling that my edge was gone on my strategy was correct in a way, and this is in my mind. It obviously still ended up working, but then I also moved into more of a technical analysis of actual price action, and that's what gave me the confidence that most likely we would hit full take profit here. So the strategies are mechanical, the rule-based, condition-based strategies that are super easy to implement, and the beauty of it is that it avoids over trading or revenge trading. Today would have been a green day. Today, I think. If anybody traded oil session 1, can you tell me exactly what your take profit was on that one? Because for some stupid reason, my oil chart on TradingView does not show an inside bar there, so I know that my numbers might not be exact, which is very odd. I don't know why. I still don't really know why. Oh, wait 1 second. Oh shit, that was oil. Stupid. Hold on 1 second. Let's see here. So if I go into here, oh, nice move on the NQ. Told you we'd get a dump. All right. So right here, this was the inside bar that, was it this one? Yeah, right here. So this is in Ninja, this is an inside bar. I obviously had equal highs. But on my TradingView chart, which is the main reason why I missed it, is that this does not show an equal high. This shows a high of 78.69. Sorry, 78.79. And this one shows a high of 78.77. This is why I missed oil session 1. This very rarely happens to me, but of course it happens to me when I'm live. So if anybody traded oil session one, could you just let me know what the ticks were for your take profit? Because this doesn't make any sense to me, because my source bar would be less than the inside bar. So I know that that's not right. I guess I could do it this way. I think I might have already done this, but our entry would have been right here. So if I take out my ruler, and stop loss would have been up there. That's 11 ticks. So I would still not have been in the green today. Even with that oil session one, I would have still been down $70 today, which is better than down 180. But the oil session two was a nice trade. All right, guys, I think that does it for me today. Got a closing later on in the day, so today's at least a payday on the work side, which is always good. I will leave the comments open for another minute or two. Anybody has any questions, I promise you I'll answer them. And I had fun today. It was a little frustrating. I'm not going to lie. It was definitely a little frustrating. Oh, that hurt my eye. Just missing that trade. Mental mistake. Obviously, I had the other charts open. I didn't see it. I was looking at TradingView. That didn't show up. But I took a really nice trade on ES on my cash account for $343.75, which I'm very happy about. And I think in general, I saw the market pretty well today. And I'll leave you guys with this. I do feel that the NQ, let me take a look at the ES. Yeah, I really do feel like we might have a dump here today on the equities markets, but we'll see. And it could be a pretty big move, especially on the NQ, maybe 200 points, even though we recovered here. Again, let me open this up. Sorry, I'm rambling, but where did that line come from? Didn't have a line there, but I had a line on this chart. Oh, I might have drawn that one in. Okay. So yeah, I mean, we're getting a pretty strong bar here. This might make a new level on the 5-minute. But I'll leave you guys with that. Leave the comments open. What ES trade did you take? I lost my ass on it. Tom, so once I end this video, you will see, you'll be able to replay the video. But I took a short from 54.63 right here. I took a short right here, and my my take profit target was at 54.48, which was pretty much the bottom of our news wick, right exactly here. So I took about 13 points. I traded it on 5 micros, again on my cash account. So obviously, if that would have been a E-mini, that would have been a fantastico trade. But I was risking, I believe, $150 on this trade from that level, and it made me sweat a little bit at this end. But obviously, I was in profit pretty well. That I stayed very confident all the way into my take profit, which was right here. All right, that's all I got for you guys. I had fun with you guys. I'm just going to call it right now that more likely next week I will move to Tuesdays. So I will be live Tuesday morning, which next Tuesday is going to be, hopefully I'm not putting a shoe in my mouth right now that I don't have something planned for work. But the 20th, the Tuesday the 20th at 8 a.m. And the reason for that is that I think it becomes easier. It's easier to trade the levels on a non-high impact news like CPI, PMI that comes out at 7:30 in the morning that does this crap right here, because this blows through a lot of levels. It's 200 points And it just becomes very difficult to trade. And I actually want to take trades with you guys live so you guys can see exactly what I'm thinking about, and trying to find A-plus setups like these that I have mapped out on the NQ. And again, we're not going to probably see these today because this is maybe, well, now it's only, well, it's still 300 points away. But I would like to trade this kind of stuff with you guys live. So that's my main reason for moving to Tuesdays. And also I'm a little superstitious. So that's probably the main reason. Remember, we might see a dump on the NQ. I have a very high probability of a pretty strong, maybe up to 200 point dump onto the NQ and the ES. Not 200 points, but ratio wise. All right, I'm done. I'm rambling now. I will see you guys. Happy trading. I'll leave the chat open for a little bit if anybody else has any questions.